Alright, so I think it's the 19th. Pretty sure it's the 19th. But yeah, we have another video diary today. I wasn't gonna do this one because honestly I was feeling super tired, but gotta stay consistent with this stuff. Today, what are we gonna talk about today? So, let me just close the door. Okay, so today is going to be all about the journey of self-improvement. So I'm not sure if the people watching me right now are on the journey of self-improvement, but it's a gift and a curse. There's a bad side to it. And for those that haven't watched these videos before, but you can, if you have, you could probably tell that the bad side to it is that everything that you do improperly and everything that you could have done but you didn't do, you have a super deep feeling of just guilt because you didn't reach your potential that day. And that's what self-improvement is. Self-improvement is trying to squeeze your potential out of every single day, which honestly, everybody should do. Especially if you're young. Why wouldn't you do that? But the issue there is that every single time you don't meet your expectations, or your standard, we'll say, you have a very, very deep-seated guilt that just sort of bubbles on the inside of you. So, some would say that's a good thing, some would say that's a bad thing. I would say it's it's both, right? Because on one end, you can never really feel completely satisfied about what you're doing, which, trust me, I would love to. But also at the same time, this is what keeps me going. This is what drives me. Because as I said, if I was, let's say you were the person that was responsible for who was successful in life. You had the power of granting success to people just by clicking your fingers, right? And you have two people in front of you. One person, he works every single hour, but every day he has 1 hour that he, wastes and he does what he wants. And then you have the other dude who, regardless whether or not he feels like it or not, every single minute, every single hour, every single second of every day, he tries his hardest. Who do you think you would give that success to? If you were responsible for it, who would you give it to? Would you give it to the person that's trying his hardest, like genuinely trying his hardest? Or would you give it to the person that's, for lack of a better term, trying, but not necessarily to the best of his ability? I don't know about you, but I would definitely give it to the guy that's working 24/7. Because he deserves it. He deserves the success. It's worth it to give it to him. So that's how I see it, right? Some people say, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't do this, don't do that. I think the opposite. I think you gotta be competitive. Every single person that's not in your immediate circle, they are directly competing with you. Doesn't matter what you're trying to do. If you're trying to build an agency like me, like a super successful agency, you have a niche, right? My niche is real estate agents. You know how many agencies there are that want to work with real estate agents? So, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of agencies that are way ahead of me. So I have no choice but to go hard. And what about you? If you want to do uni, right? Like, at the end of the day, there's only going to be so many positions for the job that you want. how many people are in the degree that you want? Or how many people are doing the degree, the same degree that you're doing? And how many people are realistically going to be hired to the best companies? Not all of them. You're competing directly with them. And if you think about it the same way, you will share the same dysfunction as me. And I call it a dysfunction because that's the way that I see it. It is a dysfunction. It's a lack of an off button. I don't have an off button. When I wake up, I get shot with a dose of adrenaline. When I go to bed, I think, I did okay today, tomorrow I need to do better. When I'm working in the day, I don't give myself any chance to breathe, apart from, if I'm meditating or whatever. So that's self-improvement for you. It's making sure that every single part of your day, every single part of your being is leveled up to the highest potential that you can level it up to. Think about it like this, right? You have a potential. You have the ideal version of yourself. Each and every one of you watching this video. And I'm speaking directly to you now. I know these videos are meant to be me speaking to myself in the future. But if I can, I would like to help some of you watching me as well. Each and every one of you have a potential, or have potential, and an ideal version of yourself that you're chasing. I am willing to bet that that ideal version of yourself has maxed out a lot of their capabilities. And when I say max out, I mean with the time you're given. Because at the end of the day, you can always get better, right? So let's say it's intelligence. Let's say it's business skills. Let's say it's physique. Let's say it's fitness. Let's say it's skills in some type of sport. If you're not working towards that every single day, it's a tragedy. It truly is. Because you're given life, and life is the most amazing thing, and life is beautiful. There's a reason why people that come from third world countries, from war-torn countries, they work their ass off because they're grateful for the life that they're given and the life that has not been taken away from them. So not working towards the ideal version of yourself and not having that standard, it's honestly you telling yourself that it's not worth it. Which, if it's not worth it for you, I don't know what situation you might be in, right? But there's always going to be somewhere out there that is working their ass off. Even if in their mind they are fucking suffering. They're working their ass off because they know at the end of the day they're going to get to where they want to be. And you're there sitting thinking to yourself that it's not worth it to achieve the ideal version of yourself. If you've played video games before, you grind to get a higher level. You grind to level up. Why not do the same with life? And I know it's because it's harder, which I completely agree. But I say that because it's harder, and because there's so many barriers in the way, that means that not everyone is going to keep going. You could be the one that breaks through those barriers. Every single time you say this is hard, think, good. Because less people are going to do this. And that means that there's more for me at the end. Good night.